Before we go, Danny Brewer's going to call in. He's going to talk about Kentucky Downs, I think, about 6:15 or so tonight. But if you're looking for the best in school spirit wear, screen printing, embroidery, and specialty items in Rutherford County, look no further than Ideas Tees. Plus, don't miss out on officially licensed MTSU Blue Raider geared Raider tees. From tees and polos to hats and more, they've got everything you need to show your Blue Raider pride. Visit their showroom at 910 Risley Road, just off Broad Street between Chewy's and Chili's. Ideas Tees can put your logo on just about anything. All you have to do is stop by and discover how they can help you promote your favorite team, workplace, or organization. They're great people there. Learn more at ideastees.com. We are going to talk baseball. We're going to talk horse racing. We're going to talk football, big time, big weekend coming up for football. All this and more here on Primetime Sports.
Since 1966, Fans Heating and Air has been a symbol of quality for Murfreesboro and Rutherford County. For friendly, complete service on Amana, Bryant, or American Standard Heating and Air products, Fans Heating and Air will do it all. Fans specializes in new homes, custom homes, or existing buildings. Give Fans Heating and Air a call today, 615-893-7930. Good luck to all of our schools and student athletes from Fans Heating and Air.
Hello, this is Coy Young at Las Casas Feed Supply. We'd like to welcome you to our door.
If you're a homeowner with a quarter acre or several, Las Casas Feed Supply focuses on premium feeds and dog foods you won't find in the box stores.
Nutrition is our specialty here at Las Casas Feed.
Family owned and operated by Coy and Jennifer Young, inviting you to stop by, visit, and enjoy the country.
Customer service expertise that exceeds your expectations.
Las Casas Feed is also your place for local milk from the MTSU Dairy on Barlow Lane, just off Highway 96 East in Las Casas.
Craig's Tax Service.
We perform tax preparation, individual tax returns, corporations, partnerships, and all your payroll bookkeeping needs.
Brett Craig with Craig's Tax Service.
Craig's Tax Service is located just off Memorial on Heritage Park Drive. You can contact us at 890-2233.
It makes sense to get help with your taxes. Call 890-2233 for an appointment.
We are proud to support all Rutherford County student athletes.
Craig's Tax Service, 890-2233.
Is your car running like a dream, or does it need a little TLC? At Dr. Automotive in Smyrna, we treat your vehicle like it's one of our own. Let's hear what some customers have to say about Dr. Automotive.
Been coming to them ever since he opened up. Good family. I recommend other people to get them repaired here because I knew they would do it and do it right. Been happy to send people to him because I trust what he does so much.
We're crazy about him. It's all about the doctor.
For quality care you can trust, visit Dr. Automotive in Smyrna. We've got the cure for your car.
This is a paid legal ad.
You've probably heard it a million times. If you're injured, call a lawyer. And you probably haven't because you don't know how much it will cost, how long it will take, or even if you have a case. At the law offices of John Day, we provide a free initial consultation because we understand that folks don't want to pay a lawyer only to find out they don't have a case. If you think we can help, we do so on a contingency basis, which means we only get paid if you do. Seriously injured? Call me, John Day.
Life's too short to stress about insurance. That's why Ray Call at Rayburn Insurance is here to make sure you have the right coverage without all the hassle. He'll work hard to provide you with personalized service and finding the best solutions for you and your family. Whether you're looking for auto, home, or business insurance, Rick Hall's got you covered. Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance Agency. Let him handle the details so you can focus on what really matters.
Primetime Sports presented by Ideas Tees on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
And John Ding is back with you along with Rod Edwards. Danny Brewer is going to join me here in about 10 minutes now. It gives us a little chance to talk about this week in baseball, I guess you would say. The Cardinals and the Braves hanging on for dear life. The Braves are trying to get that last wild card spot. It's a little tougher assignment for the Cardinals, though, but they're still in the hunt.
Well, we're 5.5 games behind the Braves, and we got a lot of teams to go over. The big thing first, get by the Cubs, and we got to hope the Mets start faltering.
They win every night. I don't know, but
the same. The Cubs are too, except when they face Skeens.
Yeah, the Cubs have been red hot. Swanson's hot. Lindor's hot for the Mets. How he goes, they go.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been an interesting year. I think baseball has finally accomplished what they wanted to accomplish with all this. Everybody's in it. I mean, there's probably 8 teams that got a chance, or an outside chance for some,
Right.
even more.
Well,
but
look at American League Central. You got the Guardians in Kansas City, which you're not used to being there, and the Minnesota Twins. They're both close. They're in the hunt, and I mean that's not teams that you would think of, but they've got a lot of good talent. Bobby Witt Jr. He's right up there with some of the best for as the most valuable player in the American League.
well, if you go over the Cardinals, you would go, they're winning series,
Yes.
but they're not winning in a row, and you're losing ground just by that, you know.
Yeah,
and
right.
And the Braves have done that pretty well. They've had a pretty good record going in with the poor lineup they have, and hanging in there with their pitching. But the Mets don't lose, the Cubs don't lose. It'll be interesting to see what happens if that cools off a little bit. You know, it doesn't take
Right.
much to cool off.
Things can change on a dime.
Yeah.
That's baseball, you know. You can be hot one moment, you go 5 for 5 in a game, and then you don't hit again for a week. So you never know.
Rod, when is it the best time to get hot if you're a baseball team? When's the best time? Is it like right now?
Yes. I say the very end. If you're
the last 30
if
games.
you're out 5 or more, you better get hot about the last week in August.
And there's
first week in September.
there's some urgency
Yes.
to the games now, and I think that inspires some of these teams to play better. And you know, they've ruined. You know, the trade deadline is the last July 31st. That's kind of taken away a little bit from it because we don't have as much action as used to because everybody's in it. And why trade somebody if you're still in the thing? You know,
Right.
They try
Right.
to find some little pieces here or there.
Of course, when you add 3 wild cards, it makes a difference too.
Yeah, yeah. And the American League's, like you said, it's kind of crazy too. The Yankees and, you know, everybody seems to me though, Rod, to have a weakness of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were talking about high school football, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But everybody has a little weakness that they've got to work with. With the Braves, injuries. I mean, that's the total. In fact, to me, it's a wonder they haven't collapsed.
Yeah.
But their pitching has been good, and Ozuna's been hot.
Well, I mean, you take the talent that they've lost. You know that you don't even expect them to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's astronomical, really, how many they've
So
lost.
it says a lot for the coach. It keep the team up, and then it says a lot for the players themselves because they're the ones that got to do it.
And the Phillies kind of hit a bad streak, but they hit a bad streak the same time the Braves hit a bad streak, which helped the Mets because the Mets have been hot since probably August,
Right,
really.
Right. In fact, the Phillies are getting kind of in your area, aren't they? Or more reachable now?
5 or 6, something like that.
Okay.
So, but that series really killed us, you know, that we played and lost 3 out of 4. But
So where Baltimore just went up half a game over the Yankees.
yeah, and they were playing terrible too. I mean, and then got hot.
They got hot, right? And the Yankees, when the Cardinals played them, they were complaining when Soto and Judge aren't hitting, then who else is going to hit? Because somebody else was.
They kind of remind me of the Braves a little bit. They've got 1 or 2 guys, and then it gets real tough for them. But I like Boone. I think Boone's a good manager. I mean,
Yes.
I think he is. And they've got what's his name coming out there every 4th day, so that helps. So it's quite a battle. Can the Cardinals do it? Can they? Do you think now? Let's take away Hart. Take away Hart. This is all mind, Rod. Try to think. Do you think the Cardinals can get that last wild card spot?
No. Not really. I don't think we have.
A lot of things have to go right.
Right. There's just too many teams ahead of us.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we got to beat you to get in. You know, we got to beat the Mets. That's 2 teams that are 5 games or 5 to 5.5 games ahead. And then you still got the Cubs are ahead of us too. So odds are against us. Our only way we could do it is if we really go on a streak. Not that we got to win. We have to win the series 2-1. No, we need about 3-0, about 5-6 games in a row.
Yeah.
Then we have a shot.
Yeah.
If you can't pull that off, then you're not going to do it.
And the other teams have to get, the ones that are in front of you have to get, you know, it's tough. If you get with them, you know, if you're 5 back, that's why the Braves aren't going to win the division, in my opinion. They'll be lucky to hang on and get that 3rd wild card spot. I envision the Mets overtaking them. I just don't think they can. I don't think they can. You look at that lineup after you get through with Darno at batting 5th. It's pretty bad. It's pretty rough.
And if you are ahead, it's harder as you get to me, when you get closer to the end, it becomes more difficult to win. There's just an extra pressure than if you're chasing.
And error, a bad inning by a relief pitcher. I mean,
Right.
I was talking about Rossiel Iglesias. He has pitched like 6 out of the last 7 nights. Eventually, they're going to get him. I mean, he's been lights out. I mean, just save after save. But eventually, you can go to the well too many, and it's going to be one day he's going to have a bad night. Now, he's willing to go every night. I mean, he'll pitch 2 innings if you ask him to. But boy, that's a lot to ask. The Cardinals pitching though has been really pretty good.
Steady.
Is the problem with the Cardinals inconsistency really? I mean, with the hitting, or
yes.
is that
the hitting is up and down? One night we can just 10 runs, 11 runs, everybody's hitting like crazy. The next night, 3 or 4. In fact, in the middle of the season, Wynn and Burleson carried them, and they're the 1-2 batters, and they kept carrying them. Now we've got others. Burleson's dropping off a little bit right now, but Goldsmith's coming on.
Yeah. Somebody has to pick up the slack somewhere along the line. When you talk about baseball as it is right now, and talk about it in general, the changes that they've made, and they're thinking about making more changes. I'm going to ask you a few questions about that. First of all, the pitch clock. How do you like the pitch clock?
Personally, I like it because the game moves faster. I mean, too many times watching somebody do their little routine after every pitch, pull this glove, the tighten, retighten, all that stuff. I don't want to see all that. Let's get up and bat. Okay, so and that part of it, yes, I like it.
It did take away the everybody playing with their batting glove and that kind of thing, and that's so. To me, I think they're averaging like 25 to 30 minutes quicker games, and boy, second rule, okay, the extra inning rule, where they get a man at second and go from there.
I like it because I get to see some old-time baseball, some bunting them over, or hit the ball on the ground to the right side so that runner can get to third, don't pull it. Those are strategies that we got to the point where we're just home run, that's it. Let's just go for the long ball.
Pinch runners become much more important too, hadn't it, in the game?
Right.
I mean, getting somebody in there in that 10th or 11th.
You hope that guy who makes the last out has some good speed.
I guess, too, it saves your pitching staff. I mean, having to play a 18-inning marathon.
Oh, yeah.
So
that kills you.
Helps the manager manage. Okay, got those two. So far, we're in agreement with everything. Now, there's this, and I'm not sure that I truly understand it. They wanted to go where the pitcher goes 6 innings. Is that something? And they've got to go at least 6 or whatever. Do you understand that rule? They wanted the
no. I haven't heard
okay. Well, I don't know enough about it to discuss it, but that's something in. Do we have a call here? Somebody going to actually ask us a question? Oh, okay. We'll talk to him. Keep him on hold. Yeah. Well, we got to get through the baseball there because I know what's going to happen when he gets on the phone.
Going back to the question we had earlier, can the Cardinals make it? It's harder now if you have a kind of a distance to make it because you don't play your teams in your division as much because we have a total schedule where you play everybody. And so I think it makes it more difficult to get over somebody if you don't get to face them in that part of the series as much.
Well, I think all the rules so far have been pretty good.
Yes.
I mean, I think overall. All right, Danny Brewer is on the phone. Danny, how are you, sir?
John Dinkins, I'm great. I'm so pleased to be on the other end of the phone with a guy like you and Big Rod Edwards in there, man. I'm honored.
Well, likewise, right here too. You're in Smyrna doing something, aren't you?
Yes, I'm in Smyrna. There's an event here, and my wife told me that I need to be here. So guess what? I'm here.
Well, that's a good boy.
We understand.
Yeah, that's a good boy. None of my family know where I am, so I'm just roaming all over the place. But I'm going to try to make some Rockville soccer tonight after I get through for this show. Danny, you're going to talk about some horse racing, right?
Yeah.
I got some big news there, and then we'll talk a little bit, and then I'll have to put you on hold. We're going to take a little break, okay?
Sounds great.
All right. What's going on in horse racing?
Well, we've got a huge day at Kentucky Downs this Saturday, September the 7th. There are 6 graded stakes races on the card. It's 11 race cards, 6 graded stakes races. Every one of them is worth $2 million. They have $2 million purses. So
$2 million.
$2 million. So this is the richest turf day in the United States because the Breeders' Cup has turf races, but not 6 of them all worth $2 million on one card. So this is the richest turf racing day in the United States. And when you think about it, Kentucky Downs, they have a 7-day race meet. But in that 7 days, the total purse money is like $35 million, which is just crazy, stupid money. What that does is that brings lots of horses in. It brings all of the top jockeys in because the money's here. So you got full fields. Most of them are 12-horse fields, and so that means great speculating opportunities. Like I said, it's just fantastic. I mean, just the excitement. It's just, man, I'm just happier than a pig in slop when I'm up there, and God willing, I'll be there on Saturday.
Are you going Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right after the Coach's Radio Show, I'm going to be there at the Coach's Radio Show. I'll get to rub elbows with a few stallions like yourself, and then I'm going to head straight to Kentucky Downs.
Well, some real thoroughbreds all day long, right?
Well, that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. We'll start it in the morning, and then finish in the afternoon.
Now, in a race like that, do you have favorites? Do you have favorites in your mind that you think are going to perform well, do well?
Oh, absolutely. So because what it is, like I said, there's 11 races on the card, and there's 6 graded stakes races, and the graded stakes means that they're a higher level, so they're usually worth more money, and they draw better horses. So there's 6 of those races on this card, and like I said, each one of these is worth $2 million. Now, there are 2 races on the card that are what they call Breeders' Cup win-and-you're-in races. At the end of the year, in November, they have the Breeders' Cup, which is the World Thoroughbred Championships. This year it'll be run at Del Mar. So if you win the Turf Cup, then you get an automatic bid into the Breeders' Cup. If you win the Turf Sprint, you get an automatic bid into the Breeders' Cup. Of course, there's different classifications. Some of these horses run longer than other distances and stuff like that. So there's different classifications in the Breeders' Cup. But Kentucky Downs, little old Kentucky Downs, has 2 Breeders' Cup win-and-you're-in races on the card on Saturday, which is very exciting news. And for those who want to get involved in the thoroughbred racing game, I mean, this is an excellent opportunity because, like I said, you will see some of the best grass trainers and jockeys there. And there's some really good horses, too, because, like I said, they all want a piece of the pie up there. Because, like I said, you could win. There are races, because, like, let's just say a typical, because some of these are grade 2, grade 3 races, a typical grade 3 race at another track may be worth, $200,000, as far as the total purse money. Here it's $2 million. So it's, like I said, there's lots and lots of money up there. And so what all that means, the really good news for the speculating public like me is the money, there's lots of horses that are running, so that means the odds are really good, and you can get really good odds on really good horses. So meaning, for instance, the horse who won the Kentucky Turf Cup last year, a horse called Get Smokin', that I think Rod was on last year. He liked him and Spooky Channel. Spooky Channel finished second. But anyway, Get Smokin' is running in the Turf Cup again this year. He's 12-1 on the morning line. He's the defending champ, and he's 12-1 on the morning line. So what that means is big payouts. I think the average pick 3 payout, like a 50-cent pick 3. So if you pick 3 races in a row and pick the winners, and if you single each horse, and it's just a 50-cent bet, it's paid like over $500. Is what the average. So like I said, there's lots of opportunities to make big money there for the horsemen and for the betting public.
All right, that's this Saturday. And have you got time we're going to take a break. Have you got time to talk a little Smyrna and Stewart's Creek football when we get back?
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to take a break. More Primetime Sports with Danny and Rod and John here on Primetime Sports Thursday.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
Whether it's the blazing heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter, let the Rheem Pro professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Conditioning on West College Street keep your home or business comfortable year-round. We service all major brands and in most cases offer same-day service. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Rheem Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass.
If your job situation is changing because of layoffs or restructuring, you may have to make several decisions. One important decision may be what to do with your retirement plan. Make sure your retirement stays on track. I'm Lee Colvin, your Edward Jones financial advisor, and I'd like to help. Stop by our office in the Public Shopping Center on South Rutherford Boulevard or give us a call at 615-907-7056 for a face-to-face appointment. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.
We're talking now with Heather here at Carpets by Osborne. What are some of the advantages that Carpets by Osborne has?
Being a family business and being locally owned and operated, we do free estimates. We have our own subcontractors that work for our business. We will come out, look at your floor covering. Throughout the whole process, you deal with an individual. You're not passed off to different contractors. We handle it from start to finish.
Carpets by Osborne on Northwest Broad, next to Tire World.
Hurry up and try new Little Caesars Crazy Puffs. They're 4 fun-sized puffs packed with layers of pepperoni, cheese, and sauce, and only $3.99. So what are you waiting for? Try them now.
You heard him. We need to go try these new Little Caesars Crazy Puffs right now.
Stop it! Drive like the wind, Debbie. Enjoy delicious new Crazy Puffs on the go for just $3.99. Only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Parks Auction. We handle everything.
Whether you're buying or selling a home or whether you're buying or selling commercial property, the auction is just so much easier, quicker, smoother.
My wife and I sold our personal home. Parks Auctions helped us with that. The house brought about 20% more than we were going to ask for.
Visit our website at parksauction.com to learn more.
Hi there, and having home now, $15.
Stan Vaught and the Parks Auction team are proud supporters of local high school and MTSU sports.
Sold it to you.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating local athletes here in Rutherford County. Experts in joint, bones, and muscles. And with over 65 specialists, TOA has a playbook to get you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit TOA.com or call 855-NEED-TOA. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA. Live your best life.
Primetime Sports presented by Ideas Tees on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
We are back. John Dinkins, Rod Edwards, and Danny Brewer are on the phone with us this evening, and we're going to talk a little Smyrna football and Stewart's Creek before Danny has to go. He's got to get, pumped up, and his wife probably wants him to go do something. So, going to keep him out of trouble. They go, why are you still on the phone, dude? Okay.
Right. I'll just say this, John. I'm the boss as long as she's not around.
Ah, there you go. There you go. Okay. Rod, you don't even say that. Rod knows who's in charge of his house. Let's talk a little Smyrna football while we got you, Danny. A big game for the Bulldogs tomorrow night at home, hosting the Siegel Stars. And so far, it hasn't been pleasant for the Bulldogs. But what do you think about tomorrow night? Are they going to get it together?
Well, I think that they want to get it together. Just speaking with some of the folks inside the circle there, they're disappointed in last week's performance. The first week of the season, you never know what's going to happen. It was a mistake-filled contest from both teams, but they had a chance to beat Riverdale.
Had a chance to win, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that there were some encouraging signs there. Last week against Rockville, from what I understand, I wasn't at the game, but from what I understand, it was not a good performance by Smyrna whatsoever, and they're very disappointed in what happened there. So I look for them to rebound. I think they will play better. It's a game that I think is pretty evenly matched because Siegel they lost a lot of players from last year, so I don't know that Siegel is the same offensive juggernaut that they were a year ago whenever they had the running, gunning quarterback that they had. But I think that Smyrna absolutely has an opportunity, a good opportunity in front of them to right the ship and do things right. And I guess, what you want to do is just not beat yourself, because I know they had a pick six early against Rockville and all that kind of stuff that they gave up. You don't want to beat yourself, make the other team beat you. And that's really the key to high school sports in most any is just not beating yourself.
Those pick six can be dangerous, can't they, Rod? I mean, those are almost killed Blackman.
It's almost like 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Get to it.
And Danny, if anybody can pull them up by the bootstraps, and we've seen it done year after year after year, that's Matt Williams. We've seen Owens 2 starts from Smyrna.
Exactly right. Well, I mean, last year they were 0-4, then they won consecutive wins, won the region, won the first round playoff game, so they had 7 consecutive wins last year. So, they can be a notoriously slow starter. Of course, their schedule is not super friendly early on.
Right.
But that's okay. That makes you better when you get into region play, because the region games are the ones that really count the most. I know that's kind of one of those old things where people say that all the time, but it's really the truth, because that's what determines your playoff seedings or what your region record is. Now, I feel like that, Matt Williams is a very blue-collar coach. He's a taskmaster, and he's old school, and I love that about him. And I think that, yes, he will have the Bulldogs ready. Now, what happens tomorrow night remains to be seen, but I think he'll have them ready, and we'll see a little bit better performance this week than they had last week.
Well, let's switch gears to Stewart's Creek. They lost last week. However, they dominated the first half pretty much, basically, and they kind of a couple of block punts really killed them. But it looks on paper that they've got an offense to be reckoned with.
They do, and I think that they have got some good things going over there at Stewart's Creek. A lot of the growth in the Smyrna area has occurred in the Stewart's Creek zone, and their enrollment, I think they're maybe the second biggest school enrollment-wise in the state of Tennessee. Not that plays a factor in what kind of football team you have, but it certainly helps when you have more bodies to choose from. But I think that Coach Caudill has done an excellent job of cultivating what he has, and that they've had some kids who have moved in there. And I think here's one of the keys for them. They don't have any kids that leave. The other schools kind of trade back and forth. I know there's several of the Rockville players that have gone somewhere, and kids go here, kids go there, whatever. But most of those times when they get the kids at Stewart's Creek, they usually stay there, which is good. That's good. And so I think that Coach Caudill has got a good thing going over there, and he's really cultivating it.
He's got some weapons that probably Smyrna could use offensively, but at the same time, Smyrna kind of young, inexperienced at some of those positions offensively, and I think time will take care of that. Stewart's Creek, I think they're going to be in the hunt from what I've seen. Like I said, you take away the 2 block punts, and Blackman's kind of in trouble. So I think those are fluke things. You got to work on them in practice and getting those straightened out.
Well, I agree with you. The thing about it is I think that this region that they're in with Smyrna and Stewart's Creek and Laverne and McGavick and Antioch and Cane Ridge, I think that it's kind of Stewart's Creek and Smyrna probably at the forefront. Of course, you can't discount anybody, but I think that Stewart's Creek absolutely is a major player.
I want to. Have you got enough time to talk about a few more games here?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'll let you go. We'll let you go after this segment. But Stewart's Creek's playing Hillsboro. Rod, I think that's a game that is winnable for Stewart's Creek and can kind of bounce back from that Blackman win.
Most definitely. What we saw was a team that, especially offensively, have a lot of options. They really kept Blackman off balance in the first half. And there's several players that are explosive. They have good speed and can't hurt you. And I think they actually are getting a little more of their easy part of their schedule. So I think they should do well in that particular region.
You've got Stewart's Creek at Hillsboro. Danny, your thoughts on that game, bounce back game for Stewart's Creek?
I think that Stewart's Creek, they're playing at home, which is always good. You don't have to go to Nashville. You don't have to worry about any of that kind of stuff. You can kind of maybe hopefully be a little bit more focused. So, no, I think the Stewart's Creek, that's a great opportunity for them to get their wheels back under them and do some of the right things.
We've kind of talked about this Smyrna-Siegel game and kind of got your thoughts. Rod, Smyrna and Siegel.
Well, to me, I think till Siegel shows that they can handle, really a tough defense, tough line play. Smyrna has the edge there. They're going to have to prove it.
Up front.
Right.
Up front. We've got Riverdale at Beach. That won't be a cakewalk, I wouldn't think, but Riverdale pulled out one to Henry County and at home, but I thought that was a pretty tight game till the end, and Riverdale pulled away. But what do you think, Danny, on Riverdale and Beach?
I think that's a very good contest. Beach has had a stellar program the last several years, so I think that's going to Beach is a big test for Riverdale. They can't get caught up in being 2-0 because the whole thing is when you step on that field on Friday night, you're 0-0. So it doesn't matter what's happened in the past. So Riverdale better come to play because Beach has got a good program.
I love his little Danny-risms. You're 0-0. I love that. Oakland at Haywood, a game, they're a pretty good 4A team, but they're going to try to bring it, Rod, Oakland and Haywood. But, boy, Oakland, that game against Anna,
it shows you something. The rest of the state of Tennessee better look out. Talk about a potent offense. Haywood has been really steady year after year, have some especially good quarterbacks, receivers, running backs, talent, don't have depth. It's just going to be rough for them in this particular game because we know Oakland is loaded with depth.
Any kind of letdown after winning a big game on the road, Danny, with Oakland?
You always have to worry about that because the whole thing is you kind of get that chest puffed out a little bit more, and you think, well, dang, we went to Texas and we beat them. Once again, it don't matter. That was last week. This is this week.
A wise man told me you can be 2-0, but when you step on that field, you're 0-0, right?
That's right.
You dang right.
And that's the job of the coach to make sure you're not puffed up.
Yeah, here's a scary game, Rod. Rockville at Tullahoma. That's a scary game, I think.
Right. Rockville may be feeling pretty good after beating Smyrna because Smyrna's been a nemesis. They beat them the last 2-3 years, I think, in a row. But you better take Tullahoma seriously.
Rockville's got some weapons offensively, though. I think they've been kind of they're running the ball more, and that quarterback runs more.
Well, Ben Morgan is now the receiver. He only played defense last year, and he's the kid that's committed to Georgia, so you know what kind of athlete he is. Sardware Porter was an outstanding defensive linebacker, kind of slash of the combination. And I think he's running some now, and he is a really good athlete. So they're getting some athletes in that backfield.
Danny Laverne is at Wilson Central, and Coach Renshaw said on the Coach's Show that he thinks that Mike Woodard is doing one of the greatest jobs he's ever seen. He's changed the offense, and they're moving the football. They haven't gotten any wins, though, but that's kind of the way it is right now. Coach Woodard's done a good job with that bunch.
He has. The thing about it is Laverne has been a little bit of shifting sand at different times. They've got some athletes, but they just can't seem to put it together. At times they look really, really good, and then at times they don't. But none of that's on Coach Woodward because, like I said, he's doing what he's supposed to as far as being a leader, a strong leader that provides stability. He just needs his players to kind of equal his stability. The new offense he put in, and I applaud this. So, man, we just couldn't do it. We couldn't do it that traditional style stuff like other people are doing. When I say it's not traditional, but the
right.
new wave kind of offense is traditional. So he said, man, we're going back with something else, and I think it's more of like a triple option type thing. And man, I love that kind of football myself. The old wing T stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of high school football, isn't it?
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. Because here's the bottom line. I don't care what level you're at, whether you're at the 4-5-year-old peewees or you're in the NFL. If you can run the football, you'll win.
Well, Blackman's at Ravenwood, and dare I say it, but Ravenwood is loaded.
Yes, in fact, they're one of the favorites to possibly get to the championship game at the end of the year. It'd be probably a big battle between them and Houston in the semifinals. If you prognosticate, can you say it right now? But it would be my guess. It'd be Ravenwood and Houston semifinals. That's where it was last year, wasn't it?
I think so. I think you're right. Eagleville at Moore County. That's another going to be a tough one for Eagleville. Danny, just real quick, that'll be a tough battle for Eagleville.
Absolutely will. Coach Walker, he's he's got his troops, kind of rallied, and they're trying to figure some things out as far as with up front what they can do there. But yeah, any game these days is tough, especially when you're in those regions, because even though the schools aren't real close together, they're kind of neighboring. So the Moore County is another one of those kind of rivalries like that Eagle has had over the years.
Right.
And I'll throw this in about Ravenwood. Will Hester is one of the best coaches in the state of Tennessee.
Yep.
The head coach at Ravenwood. I can say that without blinking an eye. Will Hester, one of the best.
Well, we've got MTCS at Grace Christian, a team that a little bit more along the lines of where they're at right now.
Right.
And then PCA is playing Mount Juliet Christian. So those two games, I'm kind of feeling good about both of those two teams coming away with a victory. Danny, we appreciate it. We're going to take a break and have a good trip Saturday and hope that you have some good luck, if you know what I mean.
Well, here's what we're going to do. See, I'll be at the studio Saturday morning doing the coach's show, rubbing elbows with all these thoroughbreds like you, and so that's good.
You better bring Brian. He's a racehorse now.
Well, you doggone right. So see, like I said, we got.
He's like a horse. I don't know about.
We got Brian Barrett. We got John Dinkins. I'll have all the football coaches. So the bottom line is, back a horse and get paid.
There you go. Well, best of luck, my friend, and I'll see you Saturday. Oh, I'll see you tomorrow night.
Man.
I guess I'll see you tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. Yeah,
all right.
Tomorrow night, we'll look forward to seeing y'all at Big Smyrna, okay?
See you, Danny.
Okay, we've got an interesting little story that Rod's going to talk to us about a high school football game that's going to be taking place. And we'll also talk Titans and Vanderbilt and Middle Tennessee State. We've got a lot more program to go. As you listen to the Primetime Sports on Thursday evening.
Quick, convenient, efficient. 3 words that we all hope to experience when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to bring just that to an industry that's traditionally dictated to the customer when it's time to do business. Whether you're purchasing class pictures in a yearbook, class jewelry, a letter jacket, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience quick, convenient, and efficient. Find out more at jhacompany.com. JHA, your one source for an unparalleled scholastic experience.
Pizza.
Murfreesboro's favorite pizza is now hiring at all 3 local locations. That's right. We want you to join the Sir Pizza team. Stop in at our East Main, Veterans Parkway, or Memorial Boulevard locations and let us know how you'd like to join the Sir Pizza family. Also, we've made it even easier to order for carryout or delivery. Just head on over to sirpizzatn.com.
Sir Pizza, you made me love pizza again.
You've heard people say, you know your work by your name, but there's no better name for residential and business concrete work than Dan France Concrete. From basic slabs to decorative stamping, for your next concrete project, call Dan France Concrete, 615-642-5152.
This is Dan with Dan France Concrete, wishing all Rutherford County student athletes a great season. Study hard, play harder, and be safe.
Trust me, Dan is committed to the community and will offer you a great product. He'll stand behind his work and make sure you're satisfied with every aspect of the work. Dan France Concrete.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
If your old unit needs a tune-up, the professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air service all major brands and even offer same-day service in most cases. Keep your home or business comfortable year-round. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Ring Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass. Online at PrenticeAllsup.com.
Whether you're a student, alumni, or just a fan, Raider Tees has exactly what you need to help you cheer on the Blue Raiders on game days and every moment in between. We sell officially licensed Blue Raider gear, whether it's clothing, hats, flags, chairs, or just whatever. We have it all, including exclusive gear you won't find anywhere else. Like us on Facebook for updates on new Blue Raider gear and special prices or discounts. For all your Blue Raider gear, shop Raider Tees today. Bigger, better, and go Blue!
Primetime Sports presented by Ideas Tees on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
We are back here on Primetime Sports, and Rod has our TOA Players of the Week.
And, John, we're going to recognize different sports. In football, our TOA award goes to T.T. Hill of Oakland, rushed for 22 rushes for 202 yards, 4 touchdowns in the Big comeback win over Anna, Texas, 4A state champions of last year, with several of their leading stars from the previous year were back. So quite a good representation for the state of Tennessee. And I noticed Coach Charlotte P. had a picture of one of the players had a Tennessee flag, the TriStar flag out.
Yeah.
And which was real neat, you know. And it was there on the field showing it, you know. That was neat. Representing Oakland, but also representing Rutherford County. So shout out to T.T. Hill and the team.
There's nothing like high school sports, is there?
No, there isn't.
I mean, it really is.
Yeah. We're going to talk about something a little bit different in high school sports going on in the state of Tennessee a little bit. But first, let's recognize from volleyball, Alyssa Burns from Riverdale. She's a setter, had 49 assists in one game.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Yes.
I can't count that high anymore.
Wow.
And along with that,
how many games?
That's one. The best three.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
That's probably been 5 games.
Yeah.
But she had 2 assists with it. I'm sorry, she had 17 digs. I mean, so she's up, she's down, she's everywhere. And 4 aces went on the serve. So what a game for her! Congratulations.
That's a position
Burns.
that doesn't get publicized probably as much as, you know, she sets up basically.
Right. Not the kills.
Not the kills.
You know, I mean, we recognize the home run hitter. We don't recognize that guy that hits the ball opposite field and bring a runner from first to third and that type of thing.
Yeah. Well, kudos to her. That's awesome.
Right. And then in soccer, Leah Crew had 4 goals and 2 assists for Oakland, their 9-0 victory over Riverdale. So she was responsible for 6 of the scores of the 9. So quite a game for her. Congratulations.
I think they're playing in Rockville tonight, Oakland. So that's a pretty good soccer match to watch.
Should be.
All right, now are you ready to tell us about?
Yeah, let's talk about East Tennessee, kind of part of our history. Some of the early heroes from Tennessee, Davy Crockett, Daniel Boone was in Kentucky and in Tennessee also. And we have 2 high schools in northeast Tennessee, Daniel Crockett High School, Daniel Boone High School, and Davy Crockett
I knew you were going to mess that up. Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, they had their 54th meeting on the football field, and they play in what's called the Musket Bowl. The winning team gets a original musket from the Frontier days. They take it, and if they win, they take it and put it in their trophy case, John. So that's
kind of like a Riverdale Oakland thing, but with a musket.
Right.
Wow. That's
or
pretty good.
like we had Middle Tennessee and Tennessee Tech at the totem pole.
Yeah.
They do a musket though.
Are you glad to see that back at Tennessee Tech and MTSU?
Yes,
yeah.
That was neat.
Had a heck of a game. Did you go?
I did not.
You probably were wise. Big rain delay, big lightning delay, and
did you spend your 10 hours there or something?
Yeah, boy, that was some game though. A little give and take there by MTSU. It's time, I guess, that we go over our pigskin picks for the week. Before we want to get that in before we get anything else.
Yeah, I'm sure you want to get that in.
Well, I don't, not necessarily, because the commissioner, all he said was, "Congratulations, Rod, on the Vanderbilt pick."
Oh,
so evidently you were the only one that picked them.
I was going to petition for 2 points for the Vanderbilt pick.
You probably should. I think that's probably a good idea. If you're the only one that gets it, you get 2 points.
That's right. Well, especially when you think Vanderbilt against Virginia Tech.
Yeah, but not,
nobody thought Vanderbilt would win.
But not this year, Rod. I'm in first place. Okay, here are the standings. I'm sitting on top. I had a 7-4 week. I'm 14-6, but right behind me is the defending champion, 3-time defending champion, Brian Barrett.
You hear his feet coming?
I hear his footsteps. 13-7. He's in second place. Clark Blair is in third place. And let's see. I just lost my footing. I think you're fourth. And then Danny's rounding out in the bottom, which he has done that like for 2 years in a row now, or 3. But we've got some picks to look at, and we talked about those games. We won't go over them because we've kind of already talked about them. But there's some toughies in that list today.
There is.
So
it go either way.
Congratulations on the Vandy pick. But they look good, didn't they?
They did. That's the first time I've really been impressed.
Did you know
with
something beforehand, or you knew about the New Mexico thing?
Yeah. I just had I had a little bit of feeling that if there's,
but not that kind of
if
feeling.
they were going to have an upset, this was the team that they could upset.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to try to pull that one off,
What does it tell you about Virginia Tech? I really don't know, but it wasn't like Virginia Tech wasn't playing well.
Right.
I mean,
they came back and took the lead.
And but that kid, that quarterback, he's something else. He's special.
And they haven't seen anything like that at Vanderbilt in a long time.
But the whole attitude, the fans, I know half of them were Virginia Tech fans, but they'll start filling in if they can do those kind of games.
You think you're making improvements on the field and facilities and everything, that it's giving a total pride to the program helps?
Yeah, and first game.
It's like the university's got your back.
Now they got another one at home. They need to win this one. They don't need to play around.
Right.
And put it to them. So to really get that fan base going. It's a long haul for Vanderbilt, trust me. Did you get anything out of the Tennessee game? I mean, it was so lopsided.
What I got out of it was they have a quarterback that really can hit. He's right, precise. He can hit short passes. He can hit long, and he's right on the money.
Yeah.
And his form is just very smooth. I think he has better footwork than
Milton.
Milton, definitely. Hooker.
Yeah. He's the real deal, isn't he? Did they redshirt him last year?
Yes.
Okay. That was smart.
Yeah.
We really don't know about the defense, really. I mean, it's going to take who they have this week. Let's see. North Carolina State.
That'll be a test.
Yeah, that should be on the road too, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That'll even be better.
All right. We talked a little bit about the middle game. That was an exciting game. They had to come from behind. Really, they kind of dominated the first half and that kind of thing. But then, Tennessee Tech came pouring back, and they ran the ball at the end of the game and to win that football game. Pretty impressive ending. I don't think Derek Mason likes the middle part.
No. I think we expected them to win by more, but I tell you, delays and stuff like that can totally change the game, and you don't know why or how, but it just the atmosphere, and you don't know which way it's going to go.
Rod, we have done football games where we've had delays, and the broadcast the broadcast isn't as sharp, as good as it would if you get right into it. It's amazing what it does to you. And that was a long delay. How long was that? 4 hours or something like that? Wow. So anyway, but congratulations. They got to win. So there you go. But they've got a tough test this week coming up with Ole Miss.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't think Lane's going to take any, he's not going to be nice to them. I mean, I think he's going to pour it on.
No.
Those major college coaches, they got to get those big wins when they can get them. I want to talk a little bit about a couple of games that occurred. Florida State, 0-2 now. And the other surprise to me was Miami crushing Florida like they did.
Yes. I mean, they totally dominated them. Are they that good, or is Florida that bad? It's hard to do.
Yeah. I mean, there was one commentator I heard on the radio said this is the worst Florida team they've ever had. Now, they paid big bucks for this guy. Was it Napier? And got to get some results now. Maybe they can rebound. Now there's 12 teams in the playoffs, so maybe you can rebound from that. But Miami's gotten their name now. That quarterback's for real.
To go back 2 years, MTSU beat them and beat them handily. So they were really down. So they've had a change of atmosphere.
And a portal quarterback. I think a change of the portal.
Yeah.
Has that just changed the landscape of football all over the place, though? I mean,
oh yeah. I mean, you don't have to worry about how well you'd go and get prospects from high school, because you can just pick somebody else's out, especially if you're a big program.
Well, I mean, Vanderbilt kind of did that. I mean, and their coaches took them, but
that's a new one.
yeah. Deion Sanders was in the news. A lot of people are kind of upset with him a little bit. I think they won their game, but
I'll tell you what, North Dakota State is no slouch.
Yeah.
I mean, they're so sound all the way through and have been for years, even though they're in FBS.
It's just, I don't know. It's too much social media. Right, guys? Okay. But anyway, they're young. They don't know. They say no. A surprise. Any surprises you think coming this week in football, or anything that might be? One thing I wanted to ask you, did you see Nick Saban on ESPN? Did you see it on game day?
I just saw the one they show when he was disgusted with how the one guy was acting. He looked like his eyes were just glaring off, and he just like, get me out of here.
Somebody asked me if that was planned. I think a lot of that is for ratings because he's so polar opposite of McAtee.
It could be,
and it made for good television. I thought
that was the big talk.
Yeah, Herb Street was over there going nuts. I mean, he's going crazy over there at the corner. But all right, quickly, we got about 3 minutes here. Let's talk about the Achilles tendon, the Achilles heel, I guess, in our football picks. The Tennessee Titans. They play the Bears on the road. They've had a good preseason. Preseason doesn't mean much. They're 3-0, but just where are they? Where do you think? And the Bears are going to be previewing Caleb Williams out there.
Yes, and then you're talking about the Bears got the #1 pick, so they were down. Although I think they traded for that pick, didn't they?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, but they've been struggling the last several years.
Yeah.
But they feel like they've got the pieces together. But we are a lot better than where we were last year in a lot of different positions. Offensive line is much better than it was. I think our defensive line, and we're not sure yet. We Sweat for Autry, but I was impressed in the game I saw with Sweat in front. He was collapsing the middle of the offensive line.
Yeah.
They're not going to be running much up there. And if you have him doing that, that's going to put Simmons is going to be able to really make,
and Landry will be able to rush.
And Landry, right.
I'm kind of interested to see their secondary because hardly any of them took any snaps in the preseason. But Snead, if he's healthy and if his knees are fine, he should be really a shutdown corner.
I mean, we should be. Defensive backs should be much superior to what we've had.
And if you get rush, Rod, that makes your defensive secondary look a whole lot better. I mean,
linebacking should be better, and not as deep though.
Yeah,
I was really impressed with Campbell. Then he tore up his knee.
Yeah, they did get the guy from the Rams. That'll help.
That helped replace him because actually that guy is even. I mean, he's going to be starter.
He's kind of elite. I mean, almost.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And quickly, Will Levis. What do you think you're going to see? I think it'll be kind of guarded, safe throw, short. Don't you?
Yes.
Tyler Boyd's going to be important, I think, up the middle.
Well, they got enough weapons that they can hit that short.
Yeah, you got running backs that can catch the ball.
Especially when you're using the backfield.
Yeah.
Put them in. They're going to get open. And then every now and then somebody's going to really break it open, take it long.
Yeah.
I think I like the way he handles the ball, the way he passes. It's very sharp and quick. He's got a quick release. What he went through, the beating he took, from our left tackle and all that, he made a big difference.
Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll wrap things up here on the Primetime Sports Thursday, right here. John and Rod with you. Head over to J. Mullins Jewelry to check out their selection of rings, watches, custom design jewelry, and much more. They're a local business located at 352 West Northville Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro. They have gifts for all occasions, weddings, graduations, anniversaries, whatever you need, you can find it at J. Mullins Jewelry. That's at 352 West Northville Boulevard or online at mullinsjewelry.com.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
We're going to be an educational institution that teach Bible every day. Every subject we teach, we're going to teach through a biblical perspective. In every aspect of our school, we're going to do it through a Christian perspective.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
That also means that everything we do, we have to be excellent. We feel like Christ calls us to excellence. And so that means we have to be excellent academically. That means we have to be excellent athletically because that's what God calls us to. It's a great place to be.
Invest in your child's future in an environment that fosters Christ-centered values. To find out more, visit mtcscougars.org.
At State Farm, when home and auto work together as a team, you score and save money. I'm State Farm Agent Ron Reeves. Give me a call at 615-873-1700 and let's work together to win big by saving money on home and auto.
It's not just your home or car. I'm State Farm Agent Emerson Williams. We see your home and car as the time and memories that you put into it. Give me a call at 615-459-2683 and let me help you give them the protection they deserve.
Here's a question. What do you want from your electric co-op?
I want expert advice on going 100% solar.
I want to go green without breaking the bank.
I want to meet my sustainability goals.
I want solar to be simple.
Done, 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 done.
I want to save the planet.
Little hero, let's start with one of MTE's solar programs first. Energy Service Life. That's Middle Tennessee Electric. We're here to get done what matters most to you. Learn more at mte.com.
We're talking with Anne-Marie Brents at Rick's Barbecue, carrying on the Lanning family tradition.
I'm passionate about it, and I have a lot of my dad in me, so I know that I have the same energy and mindset that he does.
It's the best barbecue you'll eat, the smoked chicken out of this world, and those loaded baked potatoes.
That's the biggest potato you can get. They're right at 2 pounds. People ask us that all the time. They're like, where do y'all get those potatoes from?
A quick meal feeding the whole family or catering, they can do it all at Rick's Barbecue, 212 Warrior Drive.
Primetime Sports presented by Ideas Tees on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
And John Ding is back with you, and along with Rod Edwards here, and Connor doing a great job over there answering the phone. People are calling. Who could possibly be on the phone here as we close out the show? Caller, do you have a question?
I just heard that I eat out of a horse trough or something.
No, Rod said you eat like a horse. Was that you, Rod, that said that? Oh, it was Danny.
Oh, you know who said that.
It was Danny.
Brian, you don't have to worry.
So, yeah, boy, do I know who said that.
Okay, so you have breaking news for us on the show,
I
right?
thought maybe you were going to get on an A for us.
Well, no, I just getting the band back together, and I didn't know. I was just driving along in the car, and all of a sudden I hear the melodious tones of John Dinkins hosting.
You got a little jealous, didn't you? That you weren't invited to the party.
No, I was just a little surprised, but that's all.
Clark had an engagement that he got caught up in, and he asked me to host, and I didn't call you. I didn't want to bother you because I know you've had a really busy week, if you know what I mean.
I do, but some good news for those nobody else cares but me and you and maybe Rod, but Prentice Alsop is coming through tomorrow, hopefully.
Oh, well, that's good news to Connor and Micah. They're here.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
So, boy, sitting in the waiting room, you don't want to get here early. Just get here as soon as you can. Well, that's good news. That's great news. We're going to have air conditioning all the way through.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Felt like we were back in the 30s and 40s when the station first went on the air. But
thanks to one of our sponsors.
I was tripping over all the fans trying to get in.
Well, John and I have to do that all the time, but it's human fans.
So do you have any sports notes or anything to tell us about while you got a minute here? Or?
No, I guess I'll just see you guys at the game tomorrow night. Looking forward to being at Smyrna again.
Rod, there's a game tomorrow. We probably need to show up.
And there's good food there, too.
I heard some pork sliders, is what I heard.
Really?
Yeah, I better not say too much. We'll have a bigger crowd up there. So, all right, and we're going to try out the new did you get your equipment for the luggage and stuff? Did you get that?
It should be tomorrow afternoon when I come home. It should be here. So we've got a new dolly that will go up steps, Rod. It's going to be cool if it comes in time. Yeah.
That means you're going to be carrying it. That's all that means. And Micah needs a stool. Do I need to bring one? We're getting all our dirty laundry right here on the show. So
I'll go look after we get through here and see if I've got one, and if I don't, I'll text you and let you know.
All right. They do need some shirts, too, but, I mean, we'll talk about that later.
It's a laundry list.
Yeah.
Send me an email.
They're excited about the shirts, though. Micah went nuts. I mean, you know how Micah is. He went absolutely nuts over here when they heard the news. All right, buddy, we'll see you tomorrow night.
Sounds good.
All right, that's Brian Barrett. We've had guests on this show tonight. Wow. So, Rod, appreciate you.
Well, it's a new way to do it. Our business then have guests on.
Well, and nobody knew what was going on, including you.
That's
so,
right.
Don't carry notes. So anyway, but that's going to do it for you. We got Braves baseball coming up. No Cardinals, but we do have Braves.
Well, you know who I'm rooting for, whoever they're playing.
Yeah. Are they above you? Just the Braves? Who are they playing? Oh, yeah, the Colorado Rockies. Yeah, they're out. Yeah. All right. I want to thank Rod Edwards and Danny Brewer for calling in, and Brian Barrett for calling in, and Connor and Micah over here doing really the hard part. And we'll see you, I guess, next Thursday, Rod. Or I probably won't be here, but
I'll be here.
Danny will be back, and Clark will be back. All right. Until next time, so long, everybody.
.com/network management.
This is for anyone currently doing plumbing, pipe fitting, or HVAC work with at